Good day, Mr. Brian and my fellow friend. My name is Siew. We are from Group 9. So our project title is about the Grab. Let's see about the content we would like to present. So the first one is project title, area of CSR, project relevant and need, project description, sustainability plan, and also the expected result. So next is the project image. This is our poster, and also let's meet our member. The first one is Siew is me, and also Subasinii, Jemma, SinTien, and also James. So this slide is talk about the Grab company. So Grab Holding Incorporated, commonly known as Grab, is a Singaporean multinational technology company. It is the developer of the Grab Super apps, which provide user with transportation, food delivery, and digital payment service via mobile apps. So Grab currently operate in Singapore, Malaysia, Cambodia, Indonesia, Myanmar, Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam. It is Southeast Asia's first decade and the biggest technology startup in the region. So founded by Anthony Tan and Tan Hui Ling in 2012 as the My Taxi apps based in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. It expanded the next year as Grab Taxi. It has since expanded into other services following the super apps model. In 2014, its moved its headquarters to Singapore and rebranded as Grab. Next slide is talk about the nature of business. So the operation of the Grab is start out as a taxi hailing apps and has extended its product to include ride hailing, food, grocery, package delivery, and the financial service. The Grab apps assign taxi and private hire car to nearby commuter through a location sharing system. So Grab has a food delivery service, for example, Grab Food and on-demand delivery service, Grab Express, Grab Mart, and also Grab Assistant. So Grab's fintech service include payment, insurance, micro-investment, and financing to consumer, micro-entrepreneur, and small businesses through its Grab Financial Group. So Grab has a B2B marketplace with advertisement creation and business insight tool via Grab Merchant. It also has a B2B service called Grab Defense, which has delivered as a fraud detection and prevention toolkit to third parties. So inside Grab apps have four things, which is deliveries, express probability, and also the digital advertising. It's convenient to people, and nowadays the new generation lazy to walk outside to grab a coffee, so people can just open the Grab apps, order the food, and press the proceed button to buy something. So to talk more about the Grab, I will pass to my group mate. So thank you everyone.
Hi everyone, my name is James, speaking out from my groupmate earlier. So I'll be addressing my slides on our topic, Grab, let's contribute a change in society. So moving on to the first slide that we'll be having. So here are a few CSR key areas based on the triple bottom line model. So concluding all of this, our activities that will be centered during our project will be based on the triple bottom line model. So which covers social, economic growth, and also environmental responsibility. So how we're going to achieve this and how important our goals are, we'll be covering in the very next slide. Over. So now our project will be mainly addressing three main goals. So we have allocated a total of 3 goals for our project. Now the first goal is to reduce or put an end to poverty in the places that we can control. And the second goal will be actually reducing or completely eliminating world hunger. So how we're going to do that, we're going to be addressing in the slides to come, and also as well as the importance of that. Now, the third goal is actually improving and also innovating on the current pre-existing infrastructures available to the general public or people who contribute to our platform, Grab. So all of this will be addressed in the slides later on. So next slide, please. So now, the first key area of our activity and the importance that highlighted is understanding what is poverty. Now, poverty is something that unfortunately affects a huge portion of the world, and the ones that are the most unfortunate would be the children or people who are just came into the world, just starting their lives. Now, based on statistics that we gathered, up to at least 1 billion out of 2.2 billion children in the world, okay, 1 billion of them are actually suffering from poverty. Now, that is almost 50%, and it's not a good number. So as Grab, as a company as big as we are, we have initiatives to follow, to contribute to towards the social responsibility, because as a company of our size, we have the resources. I don't see how we cannot put a change to something as severe as this. So, like, based on statistics that we actually gathered, global poverty has indeed reduced by at least half in the last decade. But as a company, Grab, as we have just entered into the market for almost a decade now, I feel like there are more things that we can do to put an even larger dent on the amount of people suffering from poverty, slowly starting from the key activities that we have planned for our CSR initiative. So, moving on to the next slide, please. So, now the next goal of ours is to actually end world hunger. So, goal number 2, now why is it important? So, based on our resources, based on our research into the statistics, the numbers governing this world hunger, it actually spanned from 2019 up to 2022. So, that is our research timeline. We actually come to find that at least 150 million people are affected, and COVID-19 has actually amplified the amount by quite a big proportion. So what we aim to do is that we have to ensure food that is produced daily actually reaches people who are underprivileged, people who go hungry at night, being unable to afford food. Because statistics that we actually researched show that at least 40% of the food produced in the world, not just Malaysia or Singapore or Southeast Asia, in the entire world, 40%, that is several tons daily, does not actually get eaten, so they're actually thrown out. So instead of throwing out the food, as purveyors of transportation as well as food hailing services, I feel like as a company in our position, we have the resources and we have the reach to make sure these food surpluses actually go towards the people who require them, people who need them daily. So what we could do is actually collecting surplus foods and then we passing over to the underprivileged. So this is our aim to actually potentially reduce world hunger and maybe even put an end to it in a few years to come. So next slide, please. Now, the third importance of our goals is, the third goal that we mentioned earlier on is innovation and improvement to the infrastructure. So how are we going to do that and how we're going to start? Essentially, as I mentioned before, we are purveyors of transportation. That is how Grab has started. So that is how we're going to continue on for the years to come. So being purveyors of transportation, we could prepare maybe mobility options for the underprivileged or the handicapped. When was the last time you walked out to places like Komta and you've seen people who are underprivileged struggling to get a proper transport, people who are maybe handicapped being refused to go on a taxi because there's no place to sit? Things like this happen all over the world, all over the time. It's just are not addressed as much as we know. So being a company of our size, we will aim to provide transportation options to people who are not so able and also not so privileged. So moving on to the next slide. Now, about our project, aka our key activities. So just now we've mentioned the importance of the activities that we have included in our project. Now we're going to talk about the activities, the plans that we have to fulfill the goals that we have mentioned earlier. Now, the first one, rounding up for charity. Have you ever went to McDonald's, want to order yourself or maybe a plate of food or like a set of Big Mac, a Happy Meal? Or you use the online kiosk system. Now, on that online kiosk system, during your checkout process, have you ever realized that there is an option, a prompt that will come up that will ask you whether you want to round off your orders or not? So the example as followed is maybe something like 23 ringgit 72 cents. Maybe they'll ask you to round off to maybe 24 ringgit. What happens in this process is the extra 28 cents that's collected is actually funneled and channeled towards a donation fund that McDonald's has actually prepared to donate to various NGOs and also to help out in various poverty issues or charity around the world. So drawing inspiration from a company as big as McDonald's, we have decided to maybe use this as an inspiration to implement this initiative into our business model, into our CSR initiative. So next time when we actually check out in Grab, there will be an option similar to the one you see in McDonald's to maybe round off your order, and that amount will be using it to fund our initiatives such as collecting food surplus or maybe providing a better transportation. This way we get to eliminate the possibility of creating a fundraiser for this project, because by using this, maybe this project will be able to self-fund itself. So these are the slides I'll be covering, and I'll be passing on to my next groupmate who will be covering the rest of the slides. So once again, I'm James. Thank you very much.
Hi, so my name is Jemma, and I'll be continuing on to our second CSR initiative proposal, which is food surplus from Grab vendors. And great opportunity for Grab, as Grab already has these resources, and they have vendors who have leftover food at the end of their day, and Grab also has drivers who are there to distribute. And our third and last proposal is providing a shuttle service. So we were also thinking that less fortunate people could apply for the transport, because there are a lot of people who are unable to get to the jobs. Grab could recruit van owners, and they could provide transport to around 6 to 8 people and pick them up from a location and then drop them off at a location, and this would also work as a to and fro. So the main thing that Grab needs to add to their website or application in order for them to go through with the last two CSR initiatives, would be a form of such that less fortunate people can apply and state their monthly income and actually prove that they are living under the margin, so that Grab can know who they're going to be providing to. So when we looked at what Grab was already doing regarding CSR initiatives, their goal was to be carbon neutral by 2040, and they were also very high on reducing, reusing, recycling, that whole concept. But our CSR initiatives have shifted into a society-based CSR initiative, and we are looking at shuttle service for less fortunate people, collecting food surplus, and rounding up for charity. So since Grab is mainly about transport and food, we decided to work around those topics and provide easy mobility for the underprivileged people, and also try to build a world free of hunger. So the audience that Grab is targeting would be underprivileged people, and also focusing on people with household incomes below 1,500. This would take about a year of trial run, and there's also no budget since it's all self-funded. So through rounded up change, that extra 20 cents or extra 30 cents will be donated to needy families and sick children, and hopefully improve the well-being of our community. Surplus food will also be distributed via Grab, helping people getting to where they need to be, especially if it's getting to jobs that they've been offered and they can't go. Grab will be providing that transport. What we expect in short term is hopefully that this small idea of rounding up change and donating that change could be resulting in a big difference. Also, that the Grab shuttle service can expand into a more reliable service where hospitals can collaborate with them to allow them to transport patients in need. And for long term, we hope to motivate Grab's community to provide more for society, and also encourage the concept of preventing food waste and ending world hunger. Thank you for listening to our presentation.